Hello everyone, welcome to GITAM Sensor Prep Series. I'm Surya Madnala, Senior Trainer from GITAM University. In this video, we will try solving problems on time, speed, and distance. So by the end of the video, you will be able to understand the concepts of time, speed, and distance, and equally, we'll try solving few questions based on time, speed, and distance. So initially, let us understand what is time, speed, and distance. Now, there is no need to explain what exactly time means. Time is something where you calculate the time taken to cover such a distance. Now, provided the time can have a different units. It can be in hours, it can be in minutes, it can be in seconds. So generally, you will find the time to be in hours or in minutes or seconds. One should be very thorough to understand how many minutes or how many seconds does a minute make, or how many minutes does an hour make. Okay, like how many minutes makes to an hour, or how many seconds makes to a minute. For an example, if I have 1 second, so 1 second is 1 moment. If I multiply this into 60, you get 1 minute. So 60 seconds makes 1 minute. And the same way, if I multiply a minute into 60, then it makes 1 hour. So from here, I drag up an information saying that 60 minutes makes 1 hour. So altogether, if I'm supposed to ask how many seconds makes to 1 hour, then see if you see here, we have multiplied 60 twice. So we have multiplied 62 times, so that gives me this many seconds. So that is 3,600 seconds making you 1 hour. So this is what an internal conversion between time is all about. So if you know what exactly how many seconds makes to a minute, and how many minutes to make to an hour, it is quite easy to convert 1 unit of time into another unit of time. For an example, if I say I have got 5 minutes, I can say I'm having 300 seconds. Because I do know a minute is nothing but comprising of 60 seconds. If I have 480 seconds, I want to convert into minutes. So I know 60 seconds makes 180. 60 seconds make one minute. So how many minutes does it have? How many 60s do you have here? So you have 8 60s, so that becomes 8 minutes. As you have a conversion and different units for time, you also have different units for the distance. So this is with time. Now I just discussed to you about the distance. Now the distance can be given in any units. Generally, when you see the questions of time, speed, and distance, you'll find the distance to be in units of meters or else kilometers. Now, I would rather say you just to focus on these two only rather than focusing many other units of distance. So an important note is like 1,000 meters makes 1 kilometer. This is an important note. Or else you can say 1 kilometer is equals to 1,000 meters. So if I ask you, there are 2 kilometers. So how many meters it is? 2,000 meters. If I say 3 by 4th kilometer, so that means 3 by 4 into 1,000, that is nothing but 750 meters. So you now know that the conversion of the distance, you know the conversion of the time, okay, from one unit to the other unit. But speed is something which is expressed in this way. Speed is something which is expressed as distance upon time. Speed is expressed as distance covered and time taken to cover this distance. I repeat, speed is nothing but the distance covered and the time taken to cover the distance. So that's why we see generally the units of speed to be in kilometer per hour or meter per second. Mostly when the distance units is in kilometer, the time unit will be in hour. And when you see the distance in meters, the distance units into the meters, then you will find time units in seconds. So you see this is distance upon time. This is distance upon time, and that is nothing but speed. So speed is given in 2 units. Generally, you'll find speed in 2 units, kilometer per hour and meter per second. I'm just trying to address it more deeper just because the conversion plays a crucial role in solving the questions of time, speed, and distance. So kilometer per hour and meter per second. Now, certain times they would ask you to convert kilometer per hour into meter per second, or maybe a meter per second into kilometer per hour. Let us see how do we convert it. We have kilometer per hour, which has to be converted into meters. Now I know that 1 kilometer is nothing but 1,000 meters. 1 hour is nothing but 3,600 seconds. So if you want to convert a kilometer into meter per second, you just need to multiply 1,000 by 3,600. If I further reduce to it, I get the fraction as 10 by 36, that is 5 and 18. So I can directly say, if I multiply 5 by 18 to kilometer per hour, this will result me to meter per second. This will result me to meter per second. Now, if suppose I have got 36 kilometer per hour, the speed, and I want to convert into meter per second, what I do is I multiply it with 5 by 18. That's it. I get 18 ones and 18 twos. So you get 10 meter per second. So to convert a kilometer per hour into meter per second, you just multiply 5 by 18 to the number. You multiply 5 by 18 to the number. Now, let us see to convert a meter per second into kilometer per hour. Now, you know that 1 meter is equals to 1,000 meters is equals to 1 kilometer. So if I say 1 meter, it will become 1 by 1,000 kilometer. So a meter is converted into kilometer, that becomes 1 by 1,000 kilometer. Now you know that 3,600 seconds equals to 1 hour. So 1 second is equals to 1 by 3,000 hour, 3,600. So a second to be converted into hour, it becomes 1 by 3,600 hour. So finally, this fraction will become nothing but 3,600 by 1,000, which is equals to 18 by 5 if I reduce it. Oh, this is just a reciprocal of this number. So that does mean that if a meter per second has to be converted into kilometer per hour, you need to multiply it with 18 by 5. And if a kilometer per hour has to be converted into meter per second, you need to multiply with 5 by 18. A meter per second into kilometer per hour, it is 18 by 5. That makes the job more easy to convert one unit into other units of speed. For distance and time, it's quite easy because for that you need to know the conversion value to convert it. So this gives us the idea about the conversion. Now let us deal few questions now. So here comes the first question. The distance between a boy's and a girl's house is 60 kilometers. So imagining that boy's house is at point B and girl's house is at point G, and the distance between point B and G is 60 kilometers. They say, whose walking speed? So the boy's walking speed is 10 kilometers per hour as indicated in the picture for your reference, and the girl's walking speed is 5 kilometers per hour. But the question states, how much time will the boy take to reach the girl's house? We are all aware about the application of the proven technique called chain rule. No doubt, we will just try to bring our chain rule over here to solve the questions. Okay, fine. Now it says that a boy walks at a speed of 10 kilometers per hour. That does mean that he covers 10 kilometers in 1 hour of a time. He covers 10 kilometers in 1 hour of a time. Now, what is the question? The question states the boy needs to reach the girl's house. that indicates so 60 kilometers of a distance has to be covered in what time by the boy. Now this is an application of chain rule. He will definitely take more than 1 hour, So what is more in this two? 60 is more, so 60 by 10 into 1, 6 hours. Or else you can just try working in this way. If the numbers are very, you can say very lesser, okay, very lower numbers. So you can just simply calculate in this way. So in 1 hour of a time, he will cover 10 kilometers. Still 50 is left over. In 1 more hour, he will cover 10 kilometers. Still 40 is left over. And 10, 2 hours. And 1 more 10, 3 hours. And this is 10. So he had covered till here 50 kilometers. So the leftover is 10 kilometers, which he will take 1 more hour. So I have 1 hour, 2 hour, 3rd hour, 4th hour, 5th hour, and 6th hour. So in 6 hours of a time, the boy will reach the girl's house. If the question is reversed, how much time will the girl take to reach the boy's house? Now I will just see what is the speed of the girl. The girl covers 5 kilometers in 1 hour. And the question is, the girl will take how much time to reach the boy's house? If the question is in this way. Okay, so the distance to the girl have to be covered. The girl have to cover the 60 kilometers. To be in how many hours? Now it's pretty easy to identify. It will definitely take more than 1 hour. So your answer is 60 by 5 into 1, that is 12 hours. So it's completely easy to apply chain rule and solve questions of time, speed, and distance. If I try to take it with an expressional format, speed is equals to distance upon time. Now you can also write time is equals to distance upon speed. Now when you're writing time is equals to distance upon speed here, so now you see that the distance to be covered is 60 and the speed is 10 for the boy, then the answer is 6 hours. The same thing which I've done here. Okay, 6 hours. And the same way you can identify for the girl reaching to the boy's house as well. So this is easy to understand because the problem is very easy. What if we complicate or we advance? So if the situation stands to be same, but now both the boy and the girl wanted to meet each other. Both the boy and the girl wanted to meet each other with the same units, with the same distance, with the same speeds, as we discussed in the previous problem. So now the boy is trying towards the girl is running towards the boy's house. Okay. So in what time will they meet each other? I do not want to bring up any technical terms over here. We'll just understand in a very simple way. As to interpret the literature, the boy covers 10 kilometers in 1 hour. The girl covers 5 kilometers in 1 hour. So now the work is done by both A and B, boy and girl. Now what is the work? The work is to cover the distance of 60 kilometers. The work is to cover the distance of 60 kilometers. So this 60 kilometers of a distance is covered by both boy as well as the girl. The girl in this direction, the boy in this direction, and finally they will meet somewhere here and they will cover the whole distance. So now we need to understand both boy and girl in 1 hour covers how much of distance? This stands to be 15 kilometers of distance. 15 kilometers of distance. They cover 15 kilometers of a distance in 1 hour. But they have to cover the complete distance to meet each other. Okay? Yes, they have to cover the 60 kilometers of distance. And how much time will they take? It's 4 hours if we apply chain rule. So in 4 hours, the boy and the girl will meet. Now let's see whether it stands true or not. In 4 hours of a time, the girl will cover 20 kilometers from here, from the starting point. In 4 hours of a time, the boy will cover 40 kilometers, that is from point B to the point they meet. Okay. So does this two together make 60 kilometers? Yes, 40 plus 20 makes 60 kilometers. So answer is 4 hours, which is right. You just need to identify, is the work done by both together to complete the work, or is someone opposing someone else? For in a case, if I change this question in this way, if I change the question in this way, the boy is running towards the girl's house, and the girl this time is running away from the boy. Or maybe in the same direction you can get. Maybe in the same direction you say, okay, as in the direction the boy is running. Then in what time will the boy be able to meet the girl? Because the girl is not trying to meet the boy. It's the boy who is trying to meet the girl. So the girl is, but still the girl is also running. Girl is not stationed at one position. She is also running, but in the same direction where the boy is running. So this is for obvious. In the previous case, we definitely understood that both boy and girl were performing. Both boy and girl were performing to cover 60 kilometers of distance. Now in this here, it's the boy only who has to cover the distance, provided the girl is trying to negate the boy's speed. So if you see that if a boy covers in 1 hour 10 kilometers, the girl is going 5 kilometers away from the point G. So all together 5 kilometers away from the point G, in 1 hour. So in 1 hour of a time, the boy covers 10 kilometers. The girl tried to run away. From the point G. So she is trying to negative the or add additional distance. You can say add additional distance to this. Okay, add additional distance to this. Okay, or you can say the boy is trying to cover 10 kilometers, the girl is running 5 kilometers ahead. So indirectly, you can say that the boy and girl together makes 5 kilometers of a distance. They're trying to cover 5 kilometers of a distance. It's same as the pipes and cisterns question when we were solving in time and work. A tap is filling the tank, the other tap is emptying the tank. So the same way the boy is trying to cover the distance, the girl is creating the distance. So altogether, boy plus girls cover 5 kilometers in 1 hour. But the distance has to be covered is 60 kilometers. 60 kilometers, how much? Because the initial distance is 60 kilometers on. Will take how many hours to cover it? It will take 12 hours to cover the distance. So what we are exactly doing is nothing but the relative speed which we are trying to calculate. I do not want to bring up all these technical words, but this is as simple to understand what exactly the work has been done. Is someone adding the work or is someone negating the work? That is important to understand. And if you understand that, it's quite easy to identify whether the speed has to be added or the speed has to be subtracted. So we can make it in this way also. The question can be changed in this way also. If I look at the question in other way now, or maybe the other question. The initial distance is 60 kilometers between them. Okay, the initial distance is 60 kilometers between them. Both of them are trying to meet each other. Provided that the girl starts after 1.5 hours. After 1.5 hours, the boy started. In what time they will meet? So the girl started after 1.5 hours, the boy started. So that does mean that for 1.5 hours, boy worked alone or boy walked alone. Okay, I'm just trying to correlate with the chapter of time and work. So for 1.5 hours, the boy covered the distance of 15 kilometers. Because in 1 hour, he covers 10 kilometers. So in 1.5 hours, he covers 15 kilometers. So out of 60 kilometers of a job which has to be done, 15 is already covered. So you're left with 45 kilometers, which has to be covered by both. Now, boy is here at this position, the girl is here. Now the girl will also walk, the boy will also walk, which has to be covered by both boy and girl. Both boy and girl in 1 hour, they covers 15 kilometers if they're coming in opposite direction or towards each other. 15 kilometers in 1 hour. So to cover 45 kilometers, they will take 3 hours of time. So finally they meet in, if you say the total time taken to meet each other is nothing but 4.5 hours. 3 hours here and 1.5 hour here, that will make together makes 4.5 hours to meet each other. That's very simple. Now if they meet some point here, Now if they ask what is the distance covered by the boy, now we all know that both the boy has walked for 4.5 hours. The boy has walked for 4.5 hours and the girl has walked for 4.5 hours. So if I multiply 4.5 hours into 10 kilometers per hour, then I get 45 kilometers of distance which the boy has covered. This helps us to identify, the chain rule helps us to identify all the questions of time and work. It just to interpret the question clearly and understand the situation, you can definitely plot your answer. And by this, we call upon the video. Thank you guys. Thank you very much for watching.